What's up, YouTube? Dark Swordsman 666 and Ritual Reaper here today.
Okay, so today we'll be doing a zombie deck profile.
To start off with, we have 3 Spirit Reapers, 1 Regenerating Mummy, 1 Poison Mummy,
Best card though.
hate it, 1 Zombie Master, 2 Pyramid Turtles, Goku N, I know it's got a lot more to the name, but I can't pronounce that, Castle of Dark Illusions, Plague Spreader Zombie, oops, sorry guys, Skull Conductor, Kasha, Ryu Koki, Royal Keeper, Paladin of the Cursed Dragon, Des Lakuda, Bloodsucker, Vampire Lady, Vampire's Curse, Vampire's Lord, Gurnia,
Gonorrhea.
Ill Blood, creepy motherfucker, Plague Wolf, Marionette Mite, Mizuki, Lava Golem,
And Drago Necro Nether Soul Dragon.
for our last monster card.
Yeah.
So Ritual Reaper is just going to quickly go over their effects. So yeah, I'll give it to you.
Alright. So that's 3 Spirit Reapers. These 3 cards are really good for tribute summons, or, you know, mostly god summons, as they cannot be destroyed by battle. But if they're targeted by effects, they're automatically destroyed. Pyramid Turtles, when they're destroyed by battle, you can technically special summon any zombie type monster from this deck, because they all have 2000 or lower defense, as zombies tend to do. Now, Malevolent Meg Goku N. You can normal summon this card without tributing, and if you do, this card is sent to the graveyard during the end phase. If it is the only zombie type monster on the field, when it is sent to the graveyard by the effect, take damage equal to the attack. Now, this is why you don't summon this monster on the first turn, because it puts you at a great disadvantage. Zombie Master, he is great for special summoning your zombie type. Now, with Marionette Mite, you can take control of 1 fiend or zombie type monster your opponent controls, and that's when this field spell Zombie World kicks in to make every single monster on the field zombie. Regenerating Mummy, just good to have in case your opponent has a deck destruction card. Poison Mummy.
I cannot tell you how many times he's used this card on me and how much I hate it. When this card is flipped, you lose 400 life points, is it now?
500.
500. There you go.
Yep. Castle of Dark Illusions, just to give a little attack and defense boost to all zombie type monsters for, I believe it's 4
turns?
Yeah.
How much?
It increases 200 attack and defense every turn.
And then they get to keep those stats.
Yeah. Now with Plague Spreader Zombie, new card, I can place 1 card from my hand to the top of the deck. I can special summon this card from my graveyard, but if it's summoned this way, I have to banish it when it leaves the field.
Tuner monster, so in case you guys like to play synchros, you can include those.
Yeah. Now, we got Bloodsucker. Whenever he inflicts battle damage to your opponent, they have to send the top card of their deck to the graveyard. Now, Mizuki, you can banish him from your graveyard, target 1 zombie type monster in your graveyard, and you can special summon it. Deslakuda, each time it's flipped, you can draw a card, and then you could, once per turn, you could flip it face down. So nice little effect. Plague Wolf. Well, this is technically a suicide card, so if you need to make a quick attack to destroy an annoying monster your opponent has, you can double this card's attack. It's got 1000 attack, so 2000. But once you use this effect, it's destroyed at the end phase. Ryukoki. If it battles a spellcaster or a warrior type, technically one of the two most common decks, no matter what, is destroyed at the end phase. So even if Ryukoki would die at the end of the damage step, it'd be destroyed. Gurnia. If this face-up card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, special summon it during your next standby phase. So Dark Holes don't work on this card technically. Ill Blood. Now, the gist of the first part of his effect is, let's see. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is face up on the field, you can normal summon it to have it be treated as an effect monster with this effect. Once per turn, you can special summon one zombie type monster from your hand or from either player's graveyard. When this card is removed from the field, destroy all zombie type monsters special summoned by this effect. Skull Conductor. This face up on the field at the end of the battle phase. Destroy this face up card. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon up to 2 zombie type monsters from your hand whose combined attack is exactly 2000. So if you're trying to tribute summon or set up for Kasha here, because with his effect he cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by controlling 2 or more face-up zombie type monsters, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card is special summoned, shuffle all other monsters on the field into the deck, so including your opponent's field. This card's attack is equal to the number of face-up zombie type monsters shuffled into the deck, this way times 1000. This card can insta-kill your opponent.
Especially with the Zombie World combo.
Yeah, Zombie World makes every single zombie monster in the graveyard and on the field a zombie. Yeah. Did I say that right? Yeah.
No, I don't think you did, but whatever.
When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, declare one card type. Monster, spell, or trap. Your opponent sends one card of that type from their deck to the graveyard. Technically the same effect as Vampire Lord, but lower attack. And
there's a lot of people hating on the vampire cards and are stating that they shouldn't be in the zombie decks, but I personally find them useful.
Yeah. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard, you can pay 500 life points. Special summon it during the standby phase of the next turn. When you do, it gains 500 attack. So, comes back from the dead. So,
sorry guys, that was my phone ringing off.
So Royal Keeper, once per turn, you can flip this card into face down defense position. When this card is flipped face up, it gains 300 attack and defense until the end of this turn. If attacked, this effect resolves after damage calculation. So just a little defense boost for an unsuspecting opponent's monster thingy. Paladin the Cursed Dragon. Once per turn, you can special summon level 4 or lower zombie type monsters that was destroyed by battle from your opponent's graveyard to your side of the field. So great with Zombie World. Now Lava Golem. This card is a fiend and not a zombie, but it can piss off your opponent so bad because you special summon it to their side of the field by tributing 2 of their monsters. Now it can attack, they can tribute it. It's got 3,000 attack, 1,500 defense, but for every other standby phases they take 1,000 damage, which isn't bad if you combo out Gravity Bind. Unfortunately, it's not in this deck. Drago Necro Nether Soul Dragon. Now this fusion takes 2 zombie type monsters. Monsters cannot be destroyed by a battle with this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled a monster that has an original level, that monster's attack becomes 0. Also, if that monster is still face up on the field, special summon 1 Dark Soul token. It's a zombie type, dark, it's a level question mark, attack question mark, defense 0. When summoned, its level and attack become equal to the original level and attack of the monster. You can only control one Dragon Necro or another Soul Dragon. Now onto the spell and trap cards.
Yep. So first up, we've got Zombie World. Can't run a zombie deck without it. Field Barrier. Call of the Mummy. Different Dimension Capsule or Gold Sarcophagus, whichever one you prefer. Same effect. Ever Living Underworld Cannon. Gravekeeper's Servant. Dark World Grimoire. Butchered the name of that one. Shrink. Book of Life. Terraforming. Graceful Dice. Dark World Dealing, since we can't play Pot of Greed. Overpowering Eye. Falling Current. Polymerization. And our last spell, Mystical Space Typhoon. This one's secret rare. Looks really nice. Just thought I'd point that out.
Okay, let's go over the effects. So, Zombie World, as we said earlier in this video, all monsters on the field and in every graveyard become zombie-type monsters. Neither player can tribute summon monsters except for zombie-type monsters. That stops all tribute summons from your opponent, unless he is also running a zombie deck. Different Dimension Capsule. If you're familiar with Gold Sarcophagus, then you'll know this effect. After this card is activated, it remains face up on the field until your second standby phase. Select one card from your deck, then shuffle your deck. Remove it from play and place face down. During your second standby phase, destroy this card and add the removed card to your hand.
The only risk with that card is if someone uses MST or Magic Jammer on it while your card is banished, that card will remain banished and you don't get to pick it up.
Exactly. So I mostly use this to get Kalsha in my hand early. Field Barrier. Field spell cards cannot be destroyed. Also, a new field spell card cannot be activated. You can only control one field barrier. So this helps so that your opponent can't Dust Tornado or MST the Zombie World. Mystical Space Typhoon for obvious reasons. Polymerization to get Dragon Necro or another Soul Dragon out in the field. Falling Current. There's a trap card that goes with this, and I don't quite remember its name. When I see it, I'll go back to that combo. Dark World Dealings, as Dark Swordsman has previously said, since Pot of Greed is banned, we'll just have this card. Graceful Dice, in case your opponent attacks one of your monsters that has
about 600 attack lower maximum.
500 maximum, so that, yeah.
Oh, that's true, so
yeah.
you don't tie.
Yeah, Terraforming to get a Zombie World into your hand. Shrink so that, let's say when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you just have his original attack, and, you know, he's the one who gets the damage. Gravekeeper's Servant. Unless your opponent sends one card from the top of his or her deck to the graveyard, he or she cannot declare an attack. This is good, especially if they're picky about what they do, because if they're trying to draw a specific card at that time to finish a combo, well, they'll be risking something. It's like Russian roulette, but with
not as fun.
Yeah. Now, Call of Me. Once per turn, you can special summon one zombie-type monster from your hand. You must control no monsters to activate and resolve this effect. So, in case you don't draw anything on your first turn, and then your opponent goes and he gets his monsters, he does his thing. Then the second turn, let's say you draw, I don't know, Vampire's Curse. You can't tribute him. At least you can summon him with Call of Me. Ever-Living Underworld Cannon. So once per turn, when a zombie-type monster is special summoned to your side of the field, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Now this card is good because a Zombie Master, Paladin or the Cursed Dragon,
Draco, Nectar, or Dragon,
yeah.
the fusion. Call of the Mummy.
Yeah, each time you special summon a monster, your opponent loses 800 life points, which is pretty good. Overpowering Eye. Select one zombie type monster you control with 2,000 or less attack. It can attack your opponent directly this turn. Now this, it's good for finishing off your opponent quickly. Let's say you brought him down to what?
Like 1,800.
Yeah, 1,800, 1,900 or below. You could just instant kill him.
A scapegoat.
Yeah, and then he pulls. No, so many people.
Or one specifically.
Yeah. Special summon one zombie type monster from your graveyard and remove from play one monster from your opponent's graveyard. Eye for an eye, but you're not the one offering your eye. You're just sort of grabbing your opponent's eye and saying, here, take it. During your end phase, if you discard a monster to the graveyard because you have more cards than your hand size limit, you can target one of those monsters, special summon that target. This is good in case, say, your field is filled or you're just not drawing anything good. You can just discard a powerful monster and summon them, like Vampire's Curse or what's his name? Malevolent Mac Gokuen. Right, now for the trap cards.
Alright. Damage Vaccine Alpha or Omega Max?
Omega Max.
Omega Max, thank you. We've got Trap of the Imperial Tomb. Nordic Relic. Laptine. I know that's a Nordic card, but because of its effect, it can work in any deck. Explosive Urchin. Defense Draw. Mirror Force. Who doesn't run one? Negate Attack. Bottomless Trap Hole. Sakuretsu Armor. Scrap Iron Scarecrow, one of the most annoying cards to be playing against. Waboku. And then 2 Magic Cylinders.
Alright. So Damage Vaccine Omega Max. When you take damage by battle or by card effect, you gain life points equal to the damage you took. So, let's say he pulls like 6 Hinotamas, you're like, yo, damage vaccine.
Can't really use 6 in one turn. 5 sucks. I'll shut up.
Yeah, okay. When a zombie type monster is special summoned from your opponent's graveyard to your side of the field, target 2 cards on the field, destroy. It helps a lot with Paladin and the Cursed Dragon's effect. Nordic Relic name butchered. Select one face-up monster on the field that destroyed a monster by battle this turn. Destroy the selected monster. Cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this card. So, remove Trap, all those old cards that actually negated the effects.
Anything that was actually good.
Yeah. Activate only Explosive Urchin. Activate only when your opponent activates a trap card. During your standby phase, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Your opponent must control a face-up trap card for you to activate and resolve this effect. During your third end phase after activation, send this card to the graveyard. So, it takes a total of 3,000 life points damage. So, if you play 4,000 life points, that's, he's dead eventually. Negate attack, and self-explanatory. Mirror Force,